Build a large birdcage. The first step is to determine exactly how large of a birdcage is required for your type of bird. You can obtain this information from a pet store or on the internet. The measurements used in this article are for building a large birdcage that is 24 inches by 24 inches by 24 inches. Materials: 2 pieces of 1/2 inch plywood 24 inches square, 4 pieces of threaded steel or aluminum rod 26 inches long, 1/2 or 5/8 inch square steel mesh 96 inches long and 24 inches wide. 16 bolts that will thread on the rod, 16 fender washers that will fit on the rod, 1 piece of wooden dowel 8 inches long, 26 inches of moderately stiff single strand wire tools, crescent wrench, drill and bit, staple gun, wire cutters or tin snips. Lay the 2 pieces of plywood on top of each other and drill hole through them, the diameter of the threaded rod, in each of the 4 corners. On one piece drill 2 small holes, the diameter of the wire about 7 inches apart, 8 inches from the side of the piece of wood. This piece will become the top of your large birdcage. Put a bolt on the end of each piece of rod and thread it up about 1 inch. Put a fender washer on the end of a rod and put the rod through one of the holes in the plywood. Put another washer on the short end of the rod protruding through the plywood and then another bolt. Do this for all 4 corners of the plywood. After all 4 rods are in place, tighten down the bolts so that the rods are the same length. Repeat this process for the other piece of plywood. This is now the frame for your large birdcage. Cut the stiff wire into 2 12-inch pieces. Wrap one end around each end of the dowel rod and poke the other end through the 2 small holes you made in the top of your large birdcage. Tie off the ends of the wire at the top of the cage. You have now made a perch for your birdcage. Wrap the wire mesh around the frame of your large birdcage and staple tightly to the plywood. Trim off any excess. Cut a hole for a door in one side of the birdcage and make a door using the excess you cut off from the sides. Use the remaining 2 inches of wire to make hinges and another piece of wire to hold the door closed. Your large birdcage is now complete and ready for use. If you want to hang your large birdcage from the ceiling, you can add some hooks or eye bolts to the top.